Sacramento Metro Real Estate Market. J. Emerson, Broker, DRE number 1788488. Sac Metro Counties Market Update. Sacramento County, El Dorado County, Placer County. Data is through October 31, 2025. Emerson Real Estate. Real Estate Market Forces Model. The real estate market involves many participants. The heart of the market are buyers and sellers. The market is affected by many forces. All forces cannot be identified practically. The three most important words in real estate: timing, psychology, location. Fear and greed are forces in psychology. And now the results of the forces this month in Sacramento Metro Counties. Definitions. New house was exposed as a listing during this calendar month. When higher than averages, leans toward buyers, more selection. Pended listing went pending during this calendar month. When higher than averages, leans toward sellers, mine's next. Cancelled listing was cancelled or expired during this calendar month. When higher than averages, leans toward buyers, sellers are nervous. Sold listing was sold during this calendar month. When higher than averages, leans toward sellers, encouraged. Active listing is available at the end of this calendar month. When higher than averages, leans toward buyers, more selection. Cumulative days on market, total number of days listing is active before going pending and selling. When higher than averages, leans toward buyers, market aging. Sweat index equals demand index minus supply index plus percent off median price high. Supply index equals new listing index plus active listing index. Demand index equals pended listing index plus sold listing index. The intent is to calculate the current market dynamics. A negative index is a negative. Optimum sweat for a zip code is in the range of +30 to -30. Greater than +30, buyers are sweating. Less than -30, sellers are sweating. Sacramento County, Inventory Summary. Active listings equals 2,158. -2%, month over month. +21%, year over year. Sold listings equals 920. -6%, month over month. -9%, year over year. New listings equals 1,291. +3%, month over month. No change, year over year. Pended listings equals 991. +1%, month over month. +6%, year over year. Cancelled listings equals 217. -26%, month over month. -12%, year over year. Sweat index equals -28%. Sellers are starting to sweat. El Dorado County, Inventory Summary. Active listings equals 649. -5%, month over month. No change, year over year. Sold listings equals 158. -18%, month over month. -10%, year over year. New listings equals 245. +9%, month over month. -7%, year over year. Pended listings equals 163, plus 12%, month over month, plus 11%, year over year. Cancelled listings equals 43, minus 40%, month over month, minus 43%, year over year. Sweat index equals minus 3%. Nobody is sweating hard. Placer County inventory summary. Active listings equals 1,039, minus 10%, month over month, plus 11%, year over year. Sold listings equals 440, minus 2%, month over month, plus 5%, year over year. New listings equals 512, minus 8%, month over month, minus 4%, year over year. Pended listings equals 419, minus 7%, month over month, plus 3%, year over year. Cancelled listings equals 126, plus 13%, month over month, minus 2%, year over year. Sweat index equals minus 10%. Nobody is sweating hard. Sacramento County details. Page 1. Data elements gathered and derived. This month. 12-year high. 12-year low. How it compares to average, high, and low. Page 2. Page 3. 12-year high. Page 4. Supply and demand. Sweat index. Dorado County details. Page 1. Data elements gathered and derived. This month. 12-year high. 12-year low. How it compares to average, high, and low. Page 2. 12-year October low. Page 3. 12-year high. Page 4. Supply and demand. Sweat index. Placer County details. Page 1. Data elements gathered and derived. This month. 12-year high. 12-year low. How it compares to average, high, and low. Page 2. Page 3. 12-year high. Page 4. Supply and demand. Sweat index. Lean score. Created to measure activity in each phase of a listing. Phases: new listing, active listing, pended listing, sold listing, canceled listing, and cumulative days on market. Cumulative days on market is the total number of days required to sell the listing. The variance between the current value of each data element and its short and long-term averages are calculated. A positive lean value leans toward seller, and negative value leans toward buyer, for a data item will be interpreted in different ways for each data element. The intent is to show who is favored, in the current market, based on the data. Sacramento County, lean score, equals 0.2. Above 0, a buy signal, just barely. 3. Lean toward sellers. 3. Lean toward buyers. El Dorado County, lean score, equals, minus 0.1. Below 0, a sell signal, just barely. 3. Lean toward sellers. 3. Lean toward buyers. Placer County, lean score, equals, minus 0.5. Below 0, a sell signal, just barely. 4. Lean toward sellers. 2. Lean toward buyers. Months of inventory, fewer than 4 months, a seller's market, between 4 to 6 months, a balanced or neutral market, greater than 6 months, buyer's market. Sacramento County, equals, 2.3, plus 4%, month over month, plus 33%, year over year. Last high was 3.2 in January 2015. Last low was 0.6 in December 2021. El Dorado County, equals, 4.1, plus 16%, month over month, plus 11%, year over year. Last high was 6.1 in January 2015. Last low was 1 in December 2021. Placer County, equals, 2.4, minus 8%, month over month, plus 5%, year over year. Last high was 4 in January 2015. Last low was 0.7 in December 2021. Market Activity Index, created to compare zip codes regardless of time and money, uses calculations of sold, pended, new, active, canceled listings and number of offers. Supply and demand. Maximum is 100. Minimum is 0. Sellers are preferred in a market whose index is greater than or equal to 30. Sacramento County, Market Activity Index, equals, 33, minus 1%, month over month, minus 8%, year over year. Last high was 100 in April 2021. Last low was 21 in January 2023, which is 72% of its 12-year October average of 46. El Dorado County, equals, 33, minus 15%, month over month, plus 15%, year over year. Last high was 100 in June 2021. Last low was 19 in January 2023, which is 71% of its 12-year October average of 46. Placer County, equals, 25, minus 4%, month over month, minus 2%, year over year. Last high was 100 in July 2021. Last low was 15 in January 2023, which is 88% of its 12-year October average of 29. Sacramento County, new listings, equals, 1,291, plus 3%, month over month, no change, year over year. Last high was 2,558 in May 2018. Last low was 507 in December 2023, which is 81% of its 12-year October average of 1,594. New listing index equals 0. Last high was plus 49%, in October 2013. Last low was minus 46%, in March 2023. El Dorado County, new listings, equals 245, plus 9%, month over month, minus 7%, year over year. Last high was 508, in May 2019. Last low was 88, in December 2022, which is 92% of its 12-year October average of 267. New listing index equals minus 7%. Last high was plus 56%, in January 2024. Last low was minus 49%, in February 2023. Placer County, new listings, equals 512, minus 8%, month over month, minus 4%, year over year. Last high was 927, in May 2019. Last low was 207, in December 2023, which is 93% of its 12-year October average of 554. New listing index equals minus 4%. Last high was plus 45%, in December 2020. Last low was minus 37%, in April 2020. Pended listings equals 991, plus 1%, month over month, plus 6%, year over year. Last high was 1,755, in May 2017. Last low was 593, in December 2022, which is 80% of its 12-year October average, 1,243. Pended listing index equals plus 6%. Last high was plus 54%, in April 2021. Last low was minus 45%, in November 2022. El Dorado County, pended listings equals 163, plus 12%, month over month, plus 11%, year over year. Last high was 390, in June 2020. Last low was 75, in December 2022, which is 83% of its 12-year October average of 196. Pended listing index equals plus 11%. Last high was plus 77%, in March 2021. Last low was minus 54%, in December 2022. Placer County, pended listings equals 419, minus 7%, month over month, plus 3%, year over year. Last high was 735, in July 2020. Last low was 216, in December 2013, which is 94% of its 12-year October average of 443. Pended listing index equals plus 3%. Last high was plus 67%, in April 2021. Last low was minus 42%, in November 2022. Housing appetite. Appetite equals pended listings divided by new listings. Fresh demand over fresh supply. Overarching assumption is that the listings that are counted as new are also pended. Sacramento County, housing appetite, equals 77%, 991, pended, 1,291, new, minus 2%, month over month, plus 5%, year over year. Last high was 126% in December 2024. Last low was 56% in June 2022, which is 99% of its 12-year October average of 78%. El Dorado County, housing appetite, equals 67%, 163, pended, 245, new, month over month, year over year. Last high was 133% in December 2017. Last low was 44% in April 2019, which is 91% of its 12-year October average of 73%. Placer County, housing appetite, equals 82%, 419, pended, 512, new, month over month, year over year. Last high was 128% in December 2019. Last low was 55% in May 2025, which is 102% of its 12-year October average of 80%. Sacramento County, canceled listings, equals 217, minus 26%, month over month, minus 12%, year over year. Last high was 727 in October 2014. Last low was 76 in February 2021, which is 59% of its 12-year October average of 370. Cancelled listing index equals minus 12%. Last high was 118% in October 2022. Last low was minus 57% in December 2015. El Dorado County, cancelled listings, equals 43, minus 40%, month over month, minus 43%, year over year. Last high was 142 in December 2014. Last low was 11 in April 2017, which is 68% of its 12-year October average of 64. Cancelled listing index equals minus 43%. Last high was plus 236% in December 2021. Last low was minus 75% in October 2020. Placer County, cancelled listings, equals 126, plus 13%, month over month, minus 2%, year over year. Last high was 252 in September 2014. Last low was 28 in February 2022, which is 100% of its 12-year October average of 127. Cancelled listing index equals minus 2%. Last high was plus 233% in November 2022. Last low was minus 61% in August 2020. Sacramento County, sold listings, equals 920, minus 6%, month over month, minus 9%, year over year. Last high was 1,742 in June 2017. Last low was 550 in January 2023, which is 71% of its 12-year October average of 1,303. Sold listing index equals minus 9%. Last high was plus 53% in April 2021. Last low was minus 46% in November 2022. Dorado County sold listings equals 158, minus 18%, month over month, minus 10%, year over year. Last high was 378 in September 2020. Last low was 74 in January 2023, which is 76% of its 12-year October average of 208. Sold listing index equals minus 10%. Last high was plus 79% in September 2020. Last low was minus 54% in January 2023. Placer County sold listings equals 440, minus 2%, month over month, plus 5%, year over year. Last high was 716 in July 2020. Last low was 212 in January 2023, which is 94% of its 12-year October average of 468. Sold listing index equals plus 5%. Last high was plus 84% in April 2021. Last low was minus 41% in April 2023. Sacramento County number of offers equals 1,821, minus 1%, month over month, minus 15%, year over year. Last high was 9,318 in April 2021. Last low was 791 in January 2014, which is 66% of its 12-year October average of 2,744. Offers per sold listing equals 2, plus 5%, month over month, minus 6%, year over year. High of 6.1. Average number of offers per sold listing in April 2021. Offers index equals minus 15%. Sold listing index equals minus 9%. Last high was plus 423% in April 2017. Last low was minus 69% in January 2023. Dorado County number of offers equals 158, minus 40%, month over month, minus 41%, year over year. Last high was 995 in March 2021. Last low was 107 in January 2014, which is 52% of its 12-year October average of 305. Offers per sold listing equals 1, minus 27%, month over month, minus 34%, year over year. High of 3.6. Average number of offers per sold listing in March 2021. Offers index equals minus 41%. Sold listing index equals minus 10%. Last high was plus 250% in May 2021. Last low was minus 62% in March 2023. Placer County. Number of offers equals 620. Minus 2% month over month. Minus 10% year over year. Last high was 5342 in July 2021. Last low was 242 in January 2014, which is 78% of its 12-year October average of 793. Offers per sold listing equals 1.4. High of 8.7. Average number of offers per sold listing in July 2021. Offers index equals minus 10%. Sold listing index equals plus 5%. Last high was plus 266% in July 2021. Last low was minus 86% in July 2022. Sacramento County. Active listings equals 2,158. Minus 2% month over month. Plus 21% year over year. Last high was 3,680 in August 2014. Last low was 753 in March 2023, which is 89% of its 12-year October average of 2,430. Inventory index equals plus 21%. Last high was plus 79% in October 2013. Last low was minus 59% in July 2023. El Dorado County. Active listings equals 649. Minus 5% month over month. No change year over year. Last high was 1,091 in June 2019. Last low was 231 in December 2021, which is 97% of its 12-year October average of 667. Inventory index equals 0. Last high was plus 59% in June 2022. Last low was minus 61% in March 2021. Placer County. Active listings equals 1,039. Minus 10% month over month. Plus 11% year over year. Last high was 1,587 in July 2014. Last low was 354 in December 2021, which is 101% of its 12-year October average of 1,033. Inventory index equals plus 11%. Last high was plus 109% in June 2022. Last low was minus 56% in March 2021. Housing absorption. Absorption simply represents how inventory is absorbed given this month's active listings and last month's sold listings. This calculation is the inverse of months of inventory. Sold over active. Active over sold. Sacramento County. Housing absorption equals 43%. 920. Sold. 2,158. Active. Last high was 161% in December 2021. Last low was 31% in January 2015, which is 73% of its 12-year October average of 59%. El Dorado County, housing absorption equals 24%, 158 sold, 649 active. Last high was 99% in December 2021. Last low was 16% in January 2015, which is 74% of its 12-year October average of 33%. Placer County, housing absorption equals 42%, 440 sold, 1,039 active. Last high was 145% in December 2021. Last low was 25% in January 2015, which is 87% of its 12-year October average of 49%. Sacramento County, cumulative days on market equals 46, plus 10% month over month, plus 35% year over year. Last high was 56 in January 2015. Last low was 11 in May 2021, which is plus 51% of its 12-year October average of 31. 12-year October high. El Dorado County, cumulative days on market equals 71, minus 1% month over month, plus 37% year over year. Last high was 104 in January 2015. Last low was 16 in May 2021, which is 137% of its 12-year October average of 52. 12-year October high. Placer County, cumulative days on market equals 53, minus 4% month over month, plus 26% year over year. Last high was 66 in January 2015. Last low was 12 in April 2021, which is 137% of its 12-year October average of 39. 12-year October high. Sacramento County, median price equals 550,000, plus 2% month over month, no change year over year. Last high was $575,000 in May 2022. Median price 12-month moving average equals 550,000, no change month over month, no change year over year. Last high was 552,000 in July 2025. Median price momentum equals 0.2 above 0, a buy signal. Last high was 21 in October 2013. El Dorado County, median price equals 675,000, plus 4% month over month, plus 4% year over year. Last high was 758,000 in April 2024. Median price 12-month moving average equals 685,000, no change month over month, plus 2% year over year. Last high was 693,000, August 2025. Median price momentum equals 1.7 above 0, a buy signal. Last high was 19 in June 2021. Placer County. Median price equals 660,000. Plus 2%, month over month. Plus 2%, year over year. Last high was 738,000 in May 2022. Median price 12-month moving average equals 665,000. No change, month over month. No change, year over year. Last high was 685,000 in July 2022. Median price momentum equals 0.4. Above zero, a buy signal. Last high was 18 in September 2021. Sacramento County. Sold volume equals 509 million. Total offered equals 1 billion. Excess volume equals 506 million. Unrequited demand. Last high offered was 4.6 billion in April 2021. El Dorado County. Sold volume equals 81 million. Total offered equals 114 million. Excess volume equals 32 million. Unrequited demand. Last high offered was 734 million in June 2021. Placer County. Sold volume equals 293 million. Total offered equals 468 million. Excess volume equals 176 million. Unrequited demand. Last high offered was 3.5 billion in July 2021.
By the way, I'm never too busy for your referrals.